Hi there, this is Kathy Tucker with Kathy Tucker Coaching and Consulting. And I'm here today with another Monday Motivational Minute. And today's Motivational Minute is about basically time management. And what I want to share with you today is a thought about, what to do when you get so overwhelmed. It's interesting. I've been talking to quite a few different sales leaders recently, and there's a trend. And I don't know if it's this time of year or what it is, but of course, I think this happens almost all the time, and that is that there's just more on their plate than what they know what to do with. I mean, they keep having things shoved on their plate, and it leads to overwhelm, and then overwhelm leads to frustration, and we all know it's just no fun. So anyway, what do we do when we have more tasks to deal with than what we really have time to do? Well, you already know this. You have to look at them and you have to prioritize. So let's talk about that. There's 4 different areas that that we need to prioritize our tasks into. And the first is the area that is urgent and important. So those tasks that are urgent and important and fall into that bucket, we need to just do it and get it done. So that's kind of the no-brainer. I got to do it, I get it done. So I got to do it now and get it done. So that's the first bucket. The second bucket that we work with is, of course, those items that are, they're still very important, but they're less urgent. So what do we do with those? Those are the items that we're going to defer to a later time. So basically, we need to plan when we're going to get those things done. What is so important about this bucket is that when we plan the time to get that task done, and we actually block off the time on our calendar and say, okay, it doesn't have to be done today, but it could be done 3 days from today, and I'm going to do it, Friday at 2 o'clock. Well, then, what's great about that, I want to tell you, is that suddenly you're going to feel your stress go down, because now you know that you've got this important element that needs to be done. You have time set aside to do it. So you know what? It allows you to de-stress and use that energy for something else that's more important at that very time. So that's that second bucket. That's, like I said, that's important but less urgent. So we defer it and plan to do it at a different time. Then we have that bucket that is tasks that are not urgent and not important. And you know what I say about that bucket? I say throw it out. I say, delete that bucket, because that is taking your energy away from being productive in these other areas. Stop worrying about it. Just let it go and move on. We all have items that are just not urgent and not important, and we don't need to spend our efforts on it. Then we have that fourth bucket, and that's the bucket where we have items that are, they're less urgent and they're less important, but they still have to be done. You can't delete them. So what can you do with these items? You can delegate them. Well, there's a skill to delegating, and what I want to share with you is a couple thoughts on that. The first thought is to leverage the strengths of your team and your coworkers and your supervisor. Remember, you can delegate up, down, or side to side. So the key is to understand what everybody's strengths are. What are their superpowers? And can they do something in 10 minutes that it might take you an hour to get done? And if they can, let's work with that person and see if they can help you with this task, while there's maybe one of your superpowers that you can help them with. So then you take a task off their plate. So when we delegate, we want to look at leveraging people's strengths and using their superpowers, because why not? Then that person who's doing it can get it done in less time, and we can take something off of their plate and we can get it done in less time, and everybody wins. So that's a key element. The next part about it is, what are those tasks that everybody's doing that are really similar, and can we also divide and delegate? So instead of everybody doing the same task, one person does that same task for all 10 people. And so each person takes on a task for the group of the team. And in doing so, it gets more done in less time and you save everybody time. So those are a couple thoughts relative to delegation. You know, 3 real reminders. One is delegate up, down, and side by side. The other is leverage people's strengths. The other is find common tasks and divide and delegate. So that's my thought for you today. Hopefully this time management tip will help you and reduce overwhelm, that will also reduce your stress and help you have a more productive week. All right, have a great one. Thank you, and talk to you next week. Bye-bye.